What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into the second episode of the How I'm Feeling podcast. I'm your host, JDM. Welcome to the show. This second episode features Desiree Lopez. Desiree Lopez is a CSCS certified trainer based here locally in Los Angeles, California. Her portfolio of training is well-rounded. From athletes to student athletes to your average mom and dad, she does it all. I would personally consider Desiree Lopez as a sports performance expert and an entrepreneur. So let's get to what you came here for, the second episode. Des, what is going on? How you doing?
I'm good.
First and foremost, thank you so much for being a guest on the How I'm Feeling podcast. It's really nice to have you on. As if people don't know, you are my fiance. We just currently newly got engaged, so that's always cool. And it's always good to have you as a guest because you are extremely educated in the fitness community, and I wanted to have all that education and value right here on this platform.
Thank you.
Before we go any further, I just wanted to let you guys know that this podcast is sponsored by JDM Creative Visuals. JDM Creative Visuals is a modern day production company that's built to inspire, uplift, and motivate every single individual through quality and captivating content. No problem. And you can have fun too. Try to have as much fun. You can have fun too, And I know you just saw me about 2 hours ago, leaving the house and coming to the in-home studio. But yeah, let's just try to provide as much value as possible for all these up and coming trainers or just people that are interested in fitness as well. So we'll get right into it. Des, a question I've actually always wondered from you is, when you were younger, right? Did you see yourself as a trainer? How'd that really go?
When I was younger, I didn't see myself as a trainer. I saw myself doing something in healthcare or with the human body, but I really thought I was going to go into physical therapy. I didn't think about becoming a strength coach or trainer until I was in college, and I had a really, really good strength coach. And from that point on, I realized I didn't want to be in a physical therapy environment.
Okay, and so what was it about physical therapy? What was it about the fitness? Like how did you, I know it wasn't an easy decision just to make that decision. Like, you didn't just wake up one day and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of being a physical therapist, I'm going to be a trainer. Like, when did the switch occur in your mind? Like, I want to go for this.
Well, so the coach was one part, but another part would probably be, so I was a runner my whole entire life. And I had quite a few injuries. And when I went to a PT office, a physical therapy office, I was just bored. So when I was there, I was bored. And I probably was about between 14 to 20 at the time when I was going to PT, on and off. And every time I went to the office, it was just very unlively and mundane, and there was never any energy. So when I was in school and I realized that that was going to be the route and my exact environment, I completely changed my mind.
Hold on. You're in physical therapy at the age of 14. Now, a lot of people would say that that's a pretty young age and you should be youthful and no injury should have been occurred. What were you in physical therapy for at the age of 14?
So my first injury was probably just like knee pain, so not a real injury, but I ran up to 30 miles a week, and this was before I was even in college, I think. I honestly can't remember my first ever time in a physical therapy office because it had been quite a couple times. And then after that, I was kind of feeling better. And my back started hurting probably when I was in high school, I would guess. But it was more of just like that kind of nagging, continuous pain. Nothing super severe, just that like my back's always sore. So then I was in PT for that as well. And it doesn't matter how young you are, if you're pounding miles on the pavement, every day, maybe twice a day. So youth only takes you so far.
No, I'm 28 and I thought I was useful, and I'm already feeling a little every year that passes. You know, the body's just not the same. You know, I get up, I feel myself. It's like, woo, okay, cool, okay, let's get the day started. Every day, we come home and we see each other. I'm blessed to see your smiling face, every night. And you always talk to me about your clients and how you love them and how they mean so much to you. And it's almost like they're an extension of you. So I just want to get your intake on, like, what do you love most about your clients and training people, and how do you form that relationship with them to the point where they are almost like an extended family for you?
Okay, well, it's weird because with clients, whenever you're in anything that one deals with the human body, but even beyond that, if you're in a service industry, your clients are everything in terms of if you don't treat them right, then you're losing them. And if you lose them, you have no business. So, of course, for me, they're always a priority from the beginning. Then, even further, for personal training, if you put yourself inside of that bubble. So, think of if you didn't know me and we weren't dating and you just came in and you said you wanted to train with me, from that moment on, you might be seeing me, 3 hours a week for the next 3 months, 3 years, 6 years, whatever that may be. And every time you're seeing me for that hour, you're not going to just only be working out, but you're probably going to talk to me. When you get more comfortable, you're probably going to let me in on some information. I might learn your entire family's, name, what their jobs are, what your kids do. And when you have that connection with somebody, you can't just ignore it. Once it's there, you build a friendship and you build a relationship, and it becomes more than just, oh, I'm the trainer. And it becomes more of like you become a confidant, or, you never know if somebody has a bad day and then they come in to train with you. And that moment is, you might be the first person they saw since something bad happened. So, I've had moments where I've seen clients really, really upset. Something happened at home. I've seen clients cry. I've seen clients in full on family feuds, and I think it takes more than just being a trainer. And it takes first just being a decent human being and understanding that it's not always going to be go, go, go. And every training session is going to be different because human beings come in differently every single day.
Wow. Yeah, no, you're right. That was a lot to take in. I mean, that not just I don't train people, but I can definitely take from your answer. No. I want all that. I want that. No, I want all that value. I want all that creamy value that all these people that are watching this, that want to become a trainer, are interested in doing it or switching over, they have the knowledge that they can need to do this and the confidence. So that actually gets me to my next question. My kind of IQ of training has been low. You've helped me increase it. But for people that don't understand, what is the difference between what you do and what somebody or a trainer at 24 Hour Fitness is doing? What's the difference?
So, I understand what you're saying. The question, I don't want to phrase it just as me versus a 24-hour or what you would call a commercial trainer. It goes beyond that. And, one of my closest friends came from a commercial gym, and he has an exponential amount of knowledge compared to some trainers that are actually in these boutique type gyms or, going in home. So I think the question is more so what differs me from just like your, I guess, bread and butter type of trainer, just your basic trainer. I don't want to limit it to just, commercial or boutique or strength coach. And I think what it is that I care about human movement before anything else. So if you come to me and you want to lose 30 pounds for a wedding or for personal reasons, or, you want to get faster, I'm not going to be okay with just giving only that result. And you know what that happens to be for me a lot of times, like I won't fit with somebody, and that's because I need to focus on movement first. So if you come in and you tell me, hey, I got my first gig, that's going to be, in Europe, I'm going to be gone for 6 months and I'm going to be holding the steady cam every single day. At that point, I can't put your weight at a priority. I need to put the fact that you need to feel good and move good every single day. So movement comes first for me. From then, the client's goals are definitely next. But first and foremost, I don't want to hurt anybody, and I want to get them out of pain and stay out of pain.
Okay, yeah. So that's like, it's definitely a different shift in what you're focused on versus like what some people, a lot of trainers are focused on physical change, seeing transformation in their client. Whereas I've definitely learned that you are more focused on other things besides how somebody looks. It's more about how they're moving and if they're doing the correct thing, the correct things to help prevent injury. So you definitely have a kind of a different path there. Certifications. Talk to me about your certifications, what you have, what you want, or if you're okay, and how these certifications kind of play a big role, if not, if any role, in your success.
Okay, so my main certification, and the only one that I believe, oh no, I have a couple that are current. So when I say current, I mean, so you can get certified and those can expire if you don't keep up with continuing education and or retesting. So my main one is a CSCS, that's a Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. And that I have to, they're actually changing it, but you have to have a degree to take the exam. Now they're changing it to where you have to have a degree in science to take the exam. And that basically is just what I show everybody so they know that I'm certified to train people. Aside from that, I have, I think it's called CSAC. It's like CSAC. That's strength. Speed and agility. And then I have a programming design one under the same people who created that one. And let's see what else. I'm in the process right now of doing one that's called Girls Gone Strong, which is a focus on women and specifically pre and postnatal women. So people who are pregnant and then after they have their baby, or even maybe, even though it doesn't sound like it, people who may be planning to get pregnant or in the process of doing something like that and preparing their body. And then I think I have one more in the process, but honestly, I'll probably push it aside because it's not of the most importance to me. And that's another weightlifting certification. And when I say weightlifting, I don't mean just like, curl, press, everything like that. I mean Olympic weightlifting. So that's your snatch, clean, jerk. And that one I just put on pause because it came kind of with a bundle that I was doing under the same company. And I already had gotten my USAW probably 3 years ago. And the USAW is exactly the same thing in a different format. And that one I actually didn't renew. So that one expired on me. So I've done the certification, but it's not current. And that's just because I don't implement, Olympic weightlifting with any of my clients right now. So in the event that I started that again, I would recertify myself in that specific area.
Okay. And with that being said, and obviously people can obviously hear that you're invested in this, you have the educational background to match the success that you're having. A lot of people in today's era kind of equivalent success in different ways and what it means to them. What's been your biggest success as a trainer, and why? So we'll just come back to this. What has been your biggest success as a trainer thus far?
So there is a couple things. Number one is always going to be getting clients out of pain and or enabling them to do something that they lost the ability to do. such as getting up and down off the floor or playing with their kids and or grandchildren, running for the first time after being fearful. Making somebody feel able again is always the priority. Next from there would actually not be related to just training my clients themselves, but the times that I've been able to help trainers that not necessarily are younger, but just started, either later, they could be younger than me, who are just newer, greener to the field. That's probably up there too. Sometimes it even passes it up because it's the ability to share my knowledge to somebody who's actually wanting to do what I do. So my clients, they have great results and they're feeling better and everything like that. But at the same time, they're never going to talk shop with you. They have, their own job to worry about. And when you have a younger or a newer trainer that you can, bounce ideas off and share your own knowledge with, I think that's super, super rewarding. And I haven't really found anything that's replaced that feeling.
Nice. Well, yeah. So for you, success seems like the feeling of knowing that you impacted somebody's life in a positive way, or by helping them move better, or doing things that they didn't think or see themselves doing. That's very interesting. I thought you were gonna go a different direction with that one, but wow. Okay, I'm learning about you too, and you're my fiance. So one thing I've always wanted to ask you, and I think I don't even know the answer to this question. I've known you more than half my life, is if you weren't training, like say training was off the table, what would you be doing?
So I actually think about this a lot. And the reason why I do is just because even though training is what I do and it's what I want to do for a prolonged period of time, I oftentimes am thinking about, in the case that I woke up in 5 years, in 2 years, in 10 years, and I decided that I wanted to do something else, I want to have the freedom to do that. And things I'm interested are pretty much all in relation to the human body still. So I'm, as you know, people don't know listening to, but I'm super into skincare. So, I watch and I learn about, the skin and the layers of the skin and the properties and everything. It kind of reminds me about training, but in a different way. Just how you would train your body to perform a certain way. You care for your a certain get the performance result, which is aesthetics or or overall health. So that's interesting to me. But at the same time, I don't have the schooling for that. So I would have to go back to school or do some other process, and I'm aware of that. And then probably next to that would be something in the scope of like research or development in ways to increase efficacy in terms of our output. So sustainability with brands. So how you can ship, how you can receive, how you can create products and packaging and PR boxes in a more sustainable way to where we aren't impacting the environment so quickly and, drastically, because that's a huge, concern I have. And I think about it often, and you've heard me and, rolled your eyes more than a couple times. And my parents have as well, but it's something I truly worry about because especially now that, Mia's running around and I see her and she's so tiny. And that's my niece, by the way. I just keep thinking like, after I'm completely gone, there's just going to be so many other generations that are here, and everything that we're doing is affecting the next, after us. And I don't feel good if I'm doing something that's going to negatively affect the next chain of, reaction.
Well, let's talk on that point. Let's talk about negative effects, right? One of the things I wanted to ask you was, COVID has negatively affected a lot of people. It's negatively affected a lot of businesses. You are an entrepreneur, you're a businesswoman, with the fitness and training. How has COVID changed the training game? And what do you think the main focuses of training are now with COVID in play?
Well, in terms of just the training game in general, I think it's accelerated. I don't think it's prompted because I think this was already happening. But it's accelerated the need for people to go online. And this can be seen not only in trainers, but if you look at devices and products, there's two products that I'm aware of. One is called Mirror, and then the other one, what is the other one? It's so essentially it's like this, mirror full length that goes in front of you, and it runs programs, and people purchase it, and it's essentially supposed to be like having a personal trainer in home. Oh, it's called Tonal. So Mirror and Tonal. This is completely virtual training. And then on top of that, people are going live or people are producing more content. But this is with everybody and everything right now. For me personally, it's made me definitely think about what I need to do online. But the thing that's hard is there's nothing that's going to fully replace for me what it's like to be working one-on-one with an individual or even with a group or a team, and being able to see something myself and correct something myself, or even offer words of encouragement. I think even though everybody's going so online, I will almost want to fight that a little bit and force, more human connection. And this is coming from somebody who's completely introverted. Like if I'm not working and if I'm not seeing my select few friends, like I'm actually not very social. But when it comes to work and it comes to community and comes to, making people better together, like I still think we need that human connection, and we need to be, face to face and, close to each other. And eventually, human touch and stuff, all of that is very important.
Well, speaking of human connection. I didn't mean to cut you off. We just did a workout last night. And I had some human connection. I felt like that was kind of like we don't do that much, but we did get in the gym together, and it's always good to get in the gym with you. What are things that people can do at home, like we did, to train? They might not have an excessive availability to weights or good bars or to do snatches and these type of things. If somebody has minimal gear, not just training, how can somebody train to then not injure themselves, if that makes sense? So I wanted to add that little step on there. What are some simple things people can do at home to get a good workout in, but then also not injure themselves?
Just like all the other things, I'm the type of person that's going to answer things in layers, because depending on your socioeconomic status and your means, there's going to be different answers to this question. Number one, and this goes with anything you want to get better at, doesn't have to just be fitness. If you have the means and the time, I think most people have the time. I think you should always hire help. So always get a personal trainer if you're able to do that. If it's too expensive, then look for coaching online. If that's still too expensive, then you're going to go online and look at free content, but you're going to have to sift through the stuff that is, good or bad. Once you have the information part, that's when you get into, maybe get some very basic equipment, like some dumbbells from 5 to 15 pounds, or a set of, resistance bands, or a slider and a yoga mat, whatever it may be. And then from that point, just start simple. So, with the knowledge you've learned. So for example, for me, if somebody was asking me questions, I would just say squat, hinge, lunge, and then row and press. And for the most part, you're good. So you just take those 5 different movements. Of course, there's core. So I believe in carrying and all these anti-ish cores, but that's just too complex, I think, for this conversation. This isn't really a training conversation. So I would say once you have the basics, just keep it very, very simple. And once you get results from there, then try to add some complexity to it. Because I think everybody goes too far. They see what they, all these crazy things on Instagram, people balancing on, Bosu balls while juggling, or, girls doing 1,000 reps of, booty bands or something. It's really not that complicated. You just have to do your basic movements, be consistent, and then once you have a little progress, then make it harder.
People. Oh, sorry, Des. I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't know. Sometimes you have these pauses, and I'm trying to jump in, and I know you're creatively flowing, so I don't want to be that annoying podcaster that's like cutting their guest off. But you on that, we have results. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are working out at home to like have results, and so you gave them 5 type of things that they can focus on. What are the main reasons why people see results, and what are the main reasons why people don't see results?
It's simple as just how bad do you want it? How consistent are you? And with training, it is also matter how good you feel. So you have to be healthy and out of pain. That's all. I'm just gonna repeat that over and over again. But really, just how consistent can you be? I'm a trainer. I've been a trainer for a long time. I was an athlete for a long time. And I will never sit here and say that I'm super consistent. And, every time, I get re-injured or something like that, I go through a mental process, and it takes me quite a while to build trust back in my body to allow myself to do things. And I see the world of a difference when I'm just consistent, and that means the smallest things. Maybe that's not exactly the answer you wanted. It's not so fancy, but it's just consistency is everything. And if you're choosing not to do something, you're also making the choice to not get better. So not choosing is a choice, and you just have to, keep going. That simple.
Nah, I get you. You've training. You've gone from a gym, a local commercial gym, to your own business. And you're pursuing your career now as an entrepreneur. You have a great foundation right now, right? So I always ask people this: where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, the goal is always for me to have a space. So this was my, last year. In a year I wanted this, but things happened, and COVID came, and plans completely changed for everybody. Everybody's in a bind right now. But having a space to train people is always going to be my priority. So whether that means getting a spot, as in commercial real estate, and building a gym, or if that means buying my own house and building on that, either another place to train, or just converting the garage, or converting an area of the house, whatever that may be. Because I think it is hard right now to travel, and it's easier to have, for me, a one way, just a one stop shop to train my clients, to film content, to train myself, and to also connect with other people in my industry. Right now, the thing with not being at a gym is, I can't really invite people in my field to work out and connect, because we don't really have somewhere to go. There's always the park and whatnot, but if you're training and if you've been doing it for a while, you might want to just lift with somebody, and you need somewhere to go for that. So number one goal is to just get a space, and then from there, I want to go online more.
But those are all really, really good points. It's always really good to know like where you want to go in 5 years, and what you want to see in 5 years. So a lot of times I ask people that question, and they don't really understand why or where they want to go. And to me, it's like, if you don't know where you want to go, then every day that you're doing things, you're kind of acting with no purpose, and it's hard to figure out where to go if you don't have purpose or a direction. So that's really, really good. Des, where can people find you at? Where can they connect with you at, and see how you pop their head and see how you're doing? Where can they find you?
So I would just go straight to my website, just because my Instagram is connected to my website, my email is on my website. So that's adlstrength.com. And yeah, you can find everything you need on there and connect. The only social media platform I'm on is Instagram. I don't really anticipate getting on other ones with the exception of training software. I don't want to be too wrapped up in the social media bubble. So yeah, my website has everything.
But no, this has been a really, really good conversation. I think, in particular, for people that are looking to become trainers, or even people that are just looking to get a workout in at home, I feel like you kind of covered, topics for both, and people can take away from all certifications that you have, and it kind of validates the things that you're saying. So, I'm really happy that you came on and made some time for me, and you came on as a guest on the How I'm Feeling podcast. So thank you so much for making time for me.
Thanks for having me.